I'm here with Tom Colicchio to talk about what we can all do to assure that children in America have access to nutritious food. You are a huge advocate of proper nutrition for children. How did you get into this, and where does your passion really come from?
Sure. First off, thanks for inviting me to do this, and thanks for everybody for coming. Way before I met Shazi, she was feeding my children, so thank you for doing that. You know, I think as a chef, and I think it's not just me, a lot of chefs feel this way, that you know, we're providing meals for a lot of people who can afford it and come into our restaurants, but at some level we really believe that feeding people and food is a right, and everybody should have access to affordable, healthy food. I mean, when you look at just the hunger numbers today, 50 million Americans, 17 million children that are living in households that are struggling to put food on the table. That shouldn't happen. I
think that there's this argument that people make, you know, just parents, everyday parents who have access to choices, and they'll say, well, you know, my kid just won't eat healthy, they'll only eat pizza and French fries.
Yeah. If you are parents, they're both working, it's busy, what is easy? What's the easy default?
Yeah.
Is to go get fast food. That's the easy default. And so if the kid is getting that at a very early age, they're going to like it.
Well, they're programmed to like it.
They're programmed to like it, exactly.
Absolutely. And then so we wonder why, you know, 33% of the children born today will get adult onset diabetes by the age of 12.
Right. There was an episode that we did in the DC Top Chef, whatever season that was, and the chefs had to go into a school and they had to work with the dollars for school lunch and feed the kids healthier versions of whatever they could, given those dollars. The kids were loving it. And I really expected the kids to just kind of like, we don't like this, and I thought we were gonna have a big problem on our hands. The kids really, really enjoyed it. They went crazy over it. And again, not because we were plugging, I'm not doing this to plug your stuff, but when you have kale and sweet potato, and you say to yourself, kale and sweet potato, kids gonna like this, and my kids eat it like it's candy. So yeah, if you introduce, you know, different flavors to kids, they'll definitely enjoy them.
What about organic is important to you? Why do you believe that it's something that we should all be thinking about?
Well, first off, I think it's better for the earth. I don't think that you can really dispute that. I think it's a much better thing for our environment, and I want to raise my children in a healthy environment. Again, when you look at someone that's farming organically, there's a certain care that they have for the earth and for what they're doing. Think about the message that we're sending our kids if we're talking about this. If this is something, now what can you teach from this moment? So you're feeding them organic food, what does that mean to them? But if you can take that as a teaching moment and teach about farming and teach about organic farming and teach about the environment, it goes beyond just nourishing their stomachs and their body. You can nourish their brain as well.
You know, for Happy, I have a conundrum because I don't want my children to just eat processed foods or food in a package, but at the same time I feel like the road to making a difference is creating a market around organic and showing people why it's important and highlighting why kale and mango is good, and then, you know, figuring out a way to mobilize. We now have about 100 moms out there kind of teaching the basics of nutrition to new parents. Because
you're increasing the amount of organic vegetables that you require, you are actually, farmers are growing more. That's the whole argument with getting organic foods into schools, the school lunch, because you start creating more of a market. And so if more farmers are growing organic food and there's a market for it, more and more farmers will grow it, plus the price will start to come down. I love Q&A, so please, feel free, jump in, don't be shy.
What do you think that the government can do or should do in regards to food?
To food, well, again, to make healthy food affordable, I think they could start subsidizing, spending less of those dollars on core wheat and soy, subsidizing things like fruits and vegetables. There's absolutely no reason why peach should cost more money than a fast food hamburger, but it does. Why? Because everything that goes into that fast food hamburger is subsidized. So our tax dollars are going to create food that is slowly killing us. Think about that.
What sense of personal obligation do you have in using organic foods in your restaurants, even mentioning them in your cookbooks, and how much does price play into a factor?
I think it's really important. I think it's important if you're, I mean, listen, we do it for a lot of reasons. We do it, number one, because I think it's again, better for the environment, and I'm purchasing a lot of fruits and vegetables, and so if I'm gonna sit up here and preach that part of this is getting people to grow more and having more access to it, I've gotta stand behind that, or I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Could I make more money if I decide to keep prices where they are right now because I have a reputation and going out and buying garbage? Yeah, sure I can, but it's not what I want to do.
Thank you all so much for being here. and being part of this very, very important discussion. And thanks so much to Tom Colicchio for your time and your beautiful thoughts.